Hello, everyone. PaperSpock here, and we're watching this because something went horribly awry. And I recorded this video that I am watching right now with you, but I forgot to unmute myself, so you weren't able to hear me. So as you know, I've been working on trying to get Blue Stake for the Ghost deck cleared out, and I had a run that was interesting enough that I didn't just want to leave it deleted. So I'm going to share it with you right now. And we're just kind of playing out our first hand here. And searching for the full house, I assume. Having to play that hand because there was nothing else there I could do. Then I get the full house. So, very good. We're going to be moving on to our first drop. I'm not quite sure how to commentate on myself. Like, part of me was like, what if I pretended I was playing the game? But anyway, I take a red card here and hex it. Because I feel like I can fairly reliably get mulled on that, and then it has a built-in multiplier of the polychrome. So, seems like a good, strong starting option, even though it's not going to do a lot here. We'll get the 1.5x, but beyond that, it won't really be able to do much. And yeah, I found a straight there, and we're off the ground. So I only get $2 off this. So I think I end up grabbing the Zany Joker. Yes, I do. I do. Because it gives me some easy mold if I just get a 3 of a kind. So it'll kind of help me get past this bit of an early hump. Like I said, um, I'm not going to say exactly what ends up happening. I had a 4 of kind of 6s. What was I doing there? I could say maybe I wanted to try to make Full House as my most played card in case I got the one Joker that I don't think it's Constellation, but I forget what it is called. You get one mult for every time you played the hand. So here I'm going to contemplate grabbing Delayed Gratification, which is kind of tricky to get the hand that's good for me here without using any discards, and it's not quite as good because I only have 2 discards, but I'm like, you know what, Econ is good because I have the red card, and if I get the red card, then I'll be in a better position to just kind of get rid of stuff. If I get the red card, I'll be in a better position because I'll have more malt. So basically, with the red card, you want to open up packs, and then you want to reject the pack, and then you get 3 malt. 3 malt for $4. I think that's a better rate than bootstraps. I want to say that's $5. Gets you 2 malt. Now, of course, you can still spend that money. It's not gone, but we get our next kind of transformative thing in this run, which is the Joker Stencil, which isn't a card I've usually been gravitated towards, but I was like, you know what, this could kind of be interesting. And I'm thinking about selling one of these here, I think, but I don't. Just kind of see what I end up getting, because I still kind of want to try to make money off the Hourglass Joker, whose name I forget. Delayed Gratification. That's it. So I'm still trying to get a 3 of kind here. And am I going to be able to? I just barely get it, so I do get a little value out of Delayed Gratification. And I cleared fairly safely there. I mean, I got, like, I think over 3 times what I needed, so that surely qualifies as safe, but I'm contemplating whether I think this build is working, and I decide that Delayed Gratification wasn't good. If I were playing this right now, maybe I wouldn't have done that. Maybe I would have kept it a bit longer. Yeah, and that I safely skip. I'm up to 6 mold on my red card. And I have 3x mold on Joker Stencil. And at some point here, yeah, not yet, but at some point I'm debating whether or not it's good to get rid of Zany Joker. And at this point, I don't. At this point, I think Zany Joker is still a solid investment. So, I'm still trying to get 3s of a kind. And things aren't really turning out the way I want them to. This is kind of a hard calculus. I mean, not that hard, because I didn't have any discards left. But when you have 3 pairs, I'm trying to look up for a 3 of a kind. It's like, do you end up scuttling one of the 3 pairs so you end up seeing more cards so they match? I don't know the math of that off the top of my head. I kind of wonder if I... Oh, we have Aura. And I don't think we take that, because we're looking to upgrade our red card here. So we take a Celestial Pack instead. Get value there. We're boosting it. I am tempted by the negative tag there, but I ultimately do the right thing and don't get drawn in. I meant to play 6-7. I meant to play a straight there, a straight flush, because I think I naturally drew a straight flush there. But my brain was not working quite right in that moment, I guess, and I clicked the wrong card. So, the original recording of this, I don't know if I was actually cursing, but I definitely was like, grumble, grumble. I can't believe that I've done this. And yeah, I managed to clear here. So, let's see. I'm thinking about selling Zany Joker, and I do, because that's going to boost Joker Stencil. And I think it's at the right point that I do it. It may not be at the optimal point. It might have been good to hold on to it longer. Maybe I should have gotten rid of it earlier, but I wonder what I'm saying here. I look like I'm contemplating something. Maybe I'm wondering if I did the right thing after the fact rather than thinking about it ahead of time. So I see that I still have 1 blind left. I know that at this point I was looking ahead to the needle, and the needle was a bit scary. That's probably part of what motivated getting rid of the 3 of a kind, because trying to get a 3 of a kind for sure is a bit scary. And here I play Full House anyway, even though I no longer need to. But it's good. It's good. It's one of the higher malt standard hands. And I really am tempted by both of these. I think there's a version where I end up taking Ballot and I end up doing some really cool things here, but it's not going to be where we're going to end up heading here. And it's ironic, it's sad, because we do end up seeing a photograph later, and not very long later either. So we could have had the photograph hanging Chad combo. And there, I'm just fed a full house right off the bat. Amazing stuff. I didn't have much to be worried about. I do think about getting popcorn, but I think I ultimately don't. There's a case here where the math, I'm not quite awake enough to always do the math here as much as I'd like. Ideally, if I was like trying to play as optimally as possible, so I'm just kind of leaning off gut feeling, and I don't think the 20 extra mult. Well, maybe it would have been, but it would have been temporary. And I could have gotten some money that way, maybe. So I am having to play multiple hands here. So the concern I begin to get here is my hands begin to get a little... See it already, photograph. Yeah, we're surely saying, why on earth didn't I take photograph? But I'm kind of in a bit of a scary place, because this strategy I have here, it lets me scale, but it doesn't let me scale well. I can't exactly... I mean, best case scenario, I'm getting an additional 6 mult every round, which is translating to more than 6 mult, because it's 6 times 1.5 times 4. 1.5 times 4 is... 1.4 is... getting numbers that seem bigger than they should be, but maybe I'm right here. 1.5 times 4 is 6. So 6 times the additional 6 mult would be an additional 36 mult every shop. If I'm able to buy and reject both booster packs, that seems pretty fast scaling, honestly, looking back. But here I'm... Oh, I think I'm going to Do I? Oh my gosh! I knew I got polychrome on the Joker stencil. I remembered that. I didn't. Oh, it's not risky. It's not risky because red card already has polychrome, so it can't go on there. So, stencil is absolutely going to be getting hit by the hex. So now it's 1.5 times 1.5 times 4x. So 4 times 1.5 is 6. So it's like 9x. My x mults amount to 9. So that's 54 additional mult for every 6 I add? Is that really right? That seems high. Um, that seems right, but it also seems higher than I'd expect. But I'm really deliberating here. Maybe I haven't realized, or maybe it took me a while to realize it again that I could safely hit the Joker stencil. Oh, I'm also considering Ouija because I could very consistently get like shouldn't say very, but I could start playing for four of a kind if I hit that. I do seriously consider grabbing the photograph at some point, I know, but yeah, at this point I skip. I'm up to 18. So let's watch the mult and see how high it goes when we play a hand. Um, yeah. There we go. Oh, 171 mult. That is pretty high for mult. 180, okay. Yeah, so I guess that is in line with the math I did. That does make sense. So, it's honestly pretty good. Maybe better than I gave it credit for. But it is kind of hard money-wise to keep pumping red card. And I do live and die by tips. And Abstract Joker is funny because it's kind of the opposite of Stencil in terms of the more Jokers you have, the better Abstract Joker is, and the worse Stencil is. But, like, Stencil is just so much more improved by not having Jokers that I couldn't see any point in adding it. But I did get a good laugh out of it. So, I'm still kind of struggling here. I can't remember if this is where I begin to have trouble in clearing the blind. I know I have trouble, and then I know there's a bit of an inflection point, and then I kind of ride on the rails all the way to the end, and I get a 4 of a kind. Okay. Fantastic. I can get 36k off that, but a 4 of a kind, knowing how this scales, that is a little scary. Anyway, yeah, I look at Madness a little, and then I realize Madness will take too many blinds in order to get good enough to surpass Joker Stencil. So, I knew it would be bad in the short term, but I was wondering if I managed to survive the bad in the short term, if it could be worth it in the long run. And I decided that it would not be worth it in the long run. So yeah, those would have been possibly interesting to me in other runs, but not in this run. And part of when I don't do things like grab that 8 is I'm looking for the extra interest. I mean, that's kind of an obvious thing people do, but like that is literally my thinking here. So I get a full house. This, yeah, that doesn't clear, and I think that scared me quite a bit in the moment. And the 3 of a kind should clear. Yeah, that clears easy, but the full house not clearing in one was bad news. And none of those are really transformative, because Magician I mean, playing flushes, maybe that could have been the play, pivoting to flush, because I could get it more consistently. But here is where I decide to finally break away from powering up the red card, and I take blue seal. Because I've started to realize that no matter how good my malt gets, my chips are never going to be fantastic. And my malt also can only grow so fast. So if I start doing something to improve my malt, then life's going to be a bit better for me. So this is where I begin. When I'm thinking about it, I try to fish for the Blue Seal 6. And I get it here. I do get it here. And I'm really hoping the 2-pair clears. Because I do want something that I can play consistently, and Full House is scary. And that did not clear, but... yeah, I have to end up playing the pair here. And, yeah, I'm so scared when I play this. Because I know 2-pair is pretty low, but it ends up clearing fairly easily. I don't know exactly when I realized 2-pair is the thing I want to end up going with, but I guess I haven't done that yet. Yeah. I think here I realize, hey, an additional 20 chips is actually pretty good with a 2-pair, because a guaranteed 20 chips plus whatever I get, not bad at all. And if I can keep managing to pull it off, it'll get better and better. Though, I mean, I don't think I was as confident in the moment when I decided to make this pivot, but I may not even make the pivot here. I do, I guess. And so I say, all right. Then I see another 6, and I'm like, hey, if I have more 6s, I'm more likely to get a pair from a 6, and then I just have to look for a pair from something else, and getting some additional tarot cards occasionally could end up being good for me. So I'm kind of looking to develop 6 as a possible theme in my deck, and then also eventually I can hope... Oh, and I was so scared here. I was so scared here because Flint, even though I've managed to upgrade it, upgrade 2-pair, it's just really bad when I was already struggling to have with the base, to have the base chips and malt have. But I do manage to clear with 1 left. So I probably would manage to have cleared without having upgraded 2-pair, but it would have taken 4 hands. Assuming I could get 4 hands out, which I probably could. Yeah, I take the pair here. And then I think I probably skip here. I might take the 3 of a kind, but I probably skip. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I skip. Okay. And this kind of run makes me a little nervous because this is not a run I've played a lot. And it's also one that is scary because I'm just like relying on money for my scaling. But like I never have a lot of money on hand really. Like towards the end I managed to get together a little bit of a stack, but maybe it would have been better for me to have held off for a while. And at this point I'm just thinking I want to get my chips up more than my malt. Looking back at how much additional malt I'm getting, I probably could have done some math and may have found a surprising conclusion. But I'm not going to do that math now. I didn't do it then. I'm not going to do it now. But I am curious a little bit about whether it would have been better to... Because, I mean, it is an additional 3, but the problem... Okay, the thing is, it's not the 3 versus the 20 chips, because you do get at least 1 additional malt from the... from taking the planet card. So I think it... Yeah. That does make it even closer. I think I'm very much trying to save the Blue Seal 6. And I'm not sure that's going to pan out for me. Yeah, I play a... Yeah, I play a single card and it works out. That's pretty good. I was thinking maybe the single card might go over, but that's right, I don't have many chips on it. And it has basically no malt from the get-go. So, that's good. And, like, basically any jokers. I mean, Hallucination could have been good if I had more money. Grab it, open the packs, and then sell it, and maybe get a couple tarot plant cards out of it or something. I think that's just tarot, now that I think about it. But okay, I have the blue seal from the get-go, so that's good here. And we draw. We draw, and I think I decide I have to play it here. The things are dire enough. Okay, I think I'm going to be able to discard that 6. And I'm gonna get a little stack of money. I make a mistake here. I remember that because I should have used Temperance right away. Because then I would have gotten the interest from having Temperance money in the bank. But I end up clearing. Yeah, I click on that card because I realized just a moment too late, hey, I should use that. So I get the interest. Yeah, here I try out a strategy. We'll see if it works out for me. Uh, I try Midas Mask, because I'm like, it would be very good value if I could get some econ going by getting even just a few face cards turned gold. And honestly, I don't do this very well. Like, I play my initial 2-pair. I get scared. I get scared when I see I only get 26k, even though I should be able to clear easy with that. I really want to try to play that, but I'm like, what if I just play the queen and then I'm not able to get enough money? But that's not a good line of thinking because because like as soon as I mean, I suppose I could just then not draw a 2-pair, but I get scared enough that I don't even like try to play a single king or whatever here. So now I'm trying to strategically play cards to discard. Like I could have played that hand and gotten a gold jack out of it. All right, but now I clear and I do manage to get a planet card. So I kind of wonder if I could gotten. I probably could have gotten more value out of it, but I was just feeling very nervous, and that it felt safer. If I had calculated what my next hand would be, I would have seen that I could have safely played it, and it wouldn't have mattered much because it would have been just a single card, and I wasn't scoring a lot of money off a high card anyway. So I'm checking how upgraded I am for some reason. So let's see what I do. I do consider getting those because I could save them and then put them on a card in an emergency situation. But it's interesting that I decide to skip the booster packs there. I'm sure I'm thinking of an interest play here, though. That has to be what's going on. So I do decide to play the 2-pair and then ditch the 5 here because I realize that there's no way I'm going to clear it the first place. So I can still search for the 6 and use that to clear out some cards. And I get a straight. And I'm tempted to play the straight, and I fall for that temptation. And that still gets a respectable amount of money, but, like, not enough. Like, if I was just playing straights, I think I'd probably have had to play 4 straights based on what I saw there. So yeah, I do manage to get a 2-pair and clear. I could have played it a little dicey and searched for the 6, but it just doesn't pan out that way. So I checked to be sure the blind wasn't anything horrible. The window is fine. I'm getting enough chips and malt from my hand rank, and then I get very lucky with the High Priest just to get that. I'm not sure I agree with my decision there to not skip. Powering up red card further is probably still pretty good. Anyway. I don't know if I pull blue card off here. I mean, the blue seal 6. We'll see. I'm thinking of playing a straight. I do have straight upgraded by 1. That is true. But I decide to do something else, I guess. Probably the right call. Yeah. And I see I do have a 2 pair. And that's not bad. I mean, we're not excelling by any means, but not the worst in the world. The kind of scary thing is that that wasn't halfway. The 2 pair didn't get me halfway there. So if I don't draw, I need to draw 2 more 2 pairs in my mind to feel safe. So there's 1, but then I'm really relying on my next hand that I draw. I have a 2 pair, or else I maybe am in serious trouble. It probably gets me pretty close. Yeah, it does get me pretty close. And I don't draw a 2 pair, so here's hoping that a single pair ends up getting me across. That's kind of the mindset I'm in. I'm like, okay, I don't think... Yeah, I'm like, is there any other hand I could play that would maybe be better than a single pair? I do have the single pair upgraded to level 3. And see, I just barely clear. I just absolutely barely clear. I almost die. It's a bit nerve-wracking, to be honest. And yes, I managed to draw a 2 pair. This, I think I'm going to just get rid of, probably. I may grab another 6, because I'm still interested in that 6 theme. But I guess I don't. It's fun trying to predict what I do. I can see arguments for it. For doing various things, but I don't. So I look and I see the boss blind. I'm going to be flip all jokers, and it's not going to be terribly hard, because I only have 2 jokers to get around this. And I'm starting to think I might just eke by. Because I did survive the last, and I am still getting stronger, so... I'm back to where I can score 2 hands that I clear, so... Yeah. Things are looking up here. So we'll see. We'll see how this ends up going. Why am I doing that? Why am I not playing a 2 pair? I had a 2 pair I use. Oh, maybe I am just searching for that extra... That blue seal 6. That's probably what I'm thinking there. And that's good. It pays off. That is what I was thinking. Even if it wasn't what I was thinking, it does pay off, but... You know. And I have a nice little stack. I have $31, which, I mean, it's not a lot, but... Cryptid, Ankh, Grim. I think I'd go for Grim. I think that's the one that creates aces. And I don't have a 6 on the board, so I can't further that theme. So I'm like, let's create a new theme. Let's create a theme of aces, so I can try to create 2 pairs out of aces and 6s. And I do get a gold ace into the mix that way. Oh, yeah, I pick the 4. I pick the ace. Get it to rank 4, to level 4. And I think, I'm not sure 3 of a kind was the play. That's... Because if I have 3 of a kind, I definitely have a pair. And I've leveled up my pair some. Oh, I'm tempted by the 4 of a kind here. I'm definitely tempted, but I probably want to go searching for my blue seal. So I play this. And I decide to get rid of the queen. Interesting. So I get halfway there, so I realize if I just get another 2 pair, I should be golden. But I don't want to play the ace if I don't have to. Yeah, because I do know the 2 pair should clear me, so... It doesn't really pay off, though. But I tried. And that again is a little close for comfort. 163k when I needed 150k. I mean, it's above it by 13k, but like, not ideal. Not where you want to be. Is this my last shot? This might be my last shot before the boss. I'm going to want to try to spend down my money. Yeah, and I go for Mercury because I do want to have a pair in my pocket if I have to play a pair. I am noticing I do occasionally have to play pairs when things don't line up very well. I think I'm rolling here because I have this idea about getting a rare Joker in the Spectral Pack. The one that it eats all your money, and then you get a rare Joker. I think I end up using... No, I guess I don't end up using the Earth card yet. I do this first. But I'm like, okay, let's add even more aces. Try to get our Ace 6 theme off the ground for endgame. So now we go ahead, and it looks like they just swapped it once. So I'm like, okay, if they just swapped it once and didn't just swap it back and forth in some random way, and I actually could track it by watching, then let's go ahead, let's take it, and let's move it. But let's also turn the game speed down to regular speed so we can watch the order of operations very carefully. It's probably overkill here. It's certainly overkill, honestly, after watching it go off, but when you have multiple Jokers, I do like slowing down the game speed, just to be sure I'm able to track what happens accurately, because I may need those other hands. I may need as many hands as possible. So I realize here I'm golden, basically. Like, I don't clear there, but, you know, I'm 11k away, so I am just absolutely ecstatic because I've managed to kind of pull off this weird build. And it's an interesting sort of thing to do occasionally, just kind of roll with the, that's cutout? I can't remember the name of it. Stencil? Stencil. I think it's the Stencil Joker. So, with the Stencil Joker, I'm going to go ahead and, for some reason I decide I want to try Endless, even though basically I click Endless and then I realize this Endless is hopeless, because I was just squeaking by on the regular scaling, and the scaling's about to crank up to 11, so I don't even think I make it another ante here, but we'll watch it play out, see what I do. I think about grabbing Hieroglyph, and honestly, if I were to try to go Endless again, I absolutely should have grabbed Hieroglyph, but I don't. I try to play this, and it's not going to go well for me. Maybe I get past the small blind. Certainly don't make it past that, though, if I do somehow manage to get past here. I don't know why I played a single pair there. Oh, I'm trying to get money. I'm trying to squeeze money out of that ace. And that is a foolish choice. Yeah, because now I realize I can't get a two-pair. Probably should have just played the single pair I had and then hope for the best. But I finally do get a two-pair, but it's not going to be enough. Nope, it's closer than I thought it would be, but it's not enough. If you want to pause here and try that seed, I don't know why you would, but it's not like the craziest seed ever. But at this point, I sit on the title screen and I talk for a while about a retrospective of some of the stuff I do in my version where I didn't end up actually recording. But the cool thing is that you've gotten most of that because I was kind of doing a retrospective as we went along. Now, I definitely didn't like this as much as kind of commentating my thoughts live, but I hope that it has been at least a good enough replacement, even if it's not the best replacement. So I thank you for joining me. As you see, we're cutting off quite a bit of time by stopping here. I really was chatty at the end there. But thank you for coming with me to watch the victory here that I wasn't expecting to get. Ooh, I really don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I'm going through. I'm looking at what other things I could clear. I'm not going to re-narrate that because in retrospect, you you can look at this if you really want to and see what I have left at this point, but I may not end up doing all of these as videos. I may just do some at the side, so like I realized I don't necessarily want to set that expectation by kind of going through it, so I'm getting a mini half redo there. You're still seeing me go through them, it's just that I'm not going to actually formalize it by talking through them. But that about all I wanted to say? Oh, yes, I remember the last thing I wanted to say. I wasn't quite sure. I tried to not say whether or not I was going to win, even though I feel like the fact that I decided to re-upload this when I had lost audio is the number one clue that I won, because like if I lost, unless it was like just a super interesting losing run, it probably doesn't make sense to upload, so you probably had a good indicator. And I didn't want to like play it up because I knew if I was like talking about will I win or will I lose, it wouldn't be very convincing, I don't think, because I don't think I'm particularly good about lying in that sort of way, at least. Oh my golly. Oh, well, I thank you for joining me, and I hope you come back and watch me with whatever I do next, if you want to. I'm just kind of doing this, as I said, for, I'm doing it so friends will watch, and if other people watch, that's cool. That's awesome. But mostly I'm just putting this out here for my friends. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.